Hello, my chumpy rumpies. And yes, you read the title. You watched the intro. That's right, we are going to look at a £1,000 PC. Oh yeah, we're doing this instead of, the Alien Colonial Marines review. It's still coming. Just gotta be patient. The OPSYS gaming PC is one of the best PCs I ever used. And yet, it may be one you haven't heard of. Well, let's see if it's right for you. So sit back, relax, get your popcorn, get your soft drinks. It's time to look at my OPSYS PC. So, my PC is the OPSYS Galantis i4 and comes with RGB lights, which is pretty cool, and Windows 11 installed, which is also quite nice. Let's look at the specs of this bad boy. First things first is my graphics card. I have a NVIDIA RTX Tough Gaming 3060, which comes with 12GB of VRAM, perfect for fast and solid gaming. It allows for around 60 to 120 FPS whilst playing most games. It also allows ray tracing, which gives you accurate reflections and better lighting, and accurate shadows. So pretty cool, am I right? Well, that's just the graphics card on its own. It also has the processor AMD Ryzen 5, which also allows for some of the fastest gaming, along with a fast computer, allowing you to open things quickly. It also has 32GB of RAM, which allows you to have even faster gaming with even faster application usage. Gosh! It also has liquid cooling, which is used instead of the fan, which is super helpful, especially if you have a very dusty house. As with a fan, it can get quite dusty and loud and can mess up the computer in the end. But with liquid cooling, it can not only make your computer quieter, but also help it run better. And finally, there are two hard drives. One is your local hard drive, which for me was an SSD drive, but also has a HDD drive, which I use for storing my games. My PC also came with a bunch of knickknacks, stuff like a chess piece, stickers, and a mini booklet. I truly am lucky, and it was, honest to God, really cool. Right, I think I have done enough of talking about the specs. Let's now talk about the games I played on here and see how they compare to my old crappy, no good old PC, which was a GTX 970. So let's see how it compares.
Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Ah yes, the perfect way to start our experiences off. Resident Evil Village. Now, if you cannot tell, there is another video on this channel called Resident Evil Village. And that's because I'm doing two reviews at once. I'm obviously doing this one, and I'm doing Village. So do not expect a big in-depth talk about Village in this video. Expect in the other video. Got it? Good. So let me just say, damn. Now this is exactly how I wanted my first authentic experience to be. Now I'll admit, this is not my first experience with my new computer. That goes to the Resident Evil 7 teaser demo beginning hour. But still, Village has some of the most gorgeous graphics I ever seen. So let's get the first thing out of the way. The snow. Now, I love snow in games, and when they are done right, they can be beautiful. The water, oh my god, the water looks so smooth. The full of Madonna with the bigger boobies, which is what we all call Lady Domitress on this channel, looks amazing. And no, not in that way, lads. Sell it down. This game just looks absolutely amazing. Now, I won't go any more in depth than that, as I already have an in-depth review on the channel, link in the description, and on this conveniently placed title card. Go check it out, and have fun. And don't get horny over the full of Madonna.
Alejo, get down!
¡San Castillo!
Alejo!
Okay, yes. Yes, Far Cry 6 is not that good of a game. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because it's really bland. By that I mean if you have played Far Cry 3, or 4, or 5, or Primal, or New Dawn, yeah, there's a lot of them, then you have played Far Cry 6. But I will go more in depth with this game when I eventually review it. Until then, let's just talk about how the game looks on here. Yeah, this is the best part of the game. The graphics have some really nice ray tracing. It actually has some of the best ray tracing I have ever seen. Yes, even better than Village. The reflections I can notice so well, especially in the sea where you can see some of the best accurate reflections of the island ever. Oh, yeah, there are other places, but I only spent 2 hours on about each game. And because of my 12GB of free RAM, I have some of the best looking graphics in the entire game. I am not kidding.
No! Why would you do that? Lights on! Lights on! I warned you! I warned you!
Naughty boy. It's past your bedtime. You must be punished. 99.
Let me just say that this game has some of the worst frame rate ever with RTX on. Yeah, when you have ray tracing on at high settings, the entire game just slows to a snail's pace. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Maybe it was an old ray tracing game from like 2020 or something. Nope. They released this game in 2021. In fact, they released it at the end of 2021. They clearly gave no shits when they released this game in the state that it was in. And somehow it is still in that state. So, no matter what bugs they fixed, it is still in a bad state. I am very, very disappointed.
One deal. No more restless nights. See how generous I can be?
Now, I know. Gamey! Why would you ever want to look at Cyberpunk 2077? Well, it's because of this. So, as we all probably know, there was recently a new patch released for Cyberpunk 2077. This is the next gen patch, and it fixes a majority of the bugs in the game. But I'm not here to go in depth, because I am here to talk about how the graphics and ray tracing looks on this new £1,000 PC. And let me tell you that this game looks gorgeous when it works properly. Yeah, when there isn't a bug, the game can once again look quite gorgeous. Light and life are abundant in the city of Night City. The characters look damn near realistic on the most ultra settings. The entire game just looks next gen, if you can ignore the bugs. Metro Exodus is another game that uses ray tracing really well. First things first, there is snow. If you couldn't tell by now, I love snow in video games. When they are done right, they look gorgeous. The sound of the snow can also be as smooth as listening to real snow. And that's all we're going to do with this. This video has probably gone on for an hour by now, so yeah. Let's just stop much further ahead. Look, I know, this may not have been longer than some of you guys wanted, but I'm still saving my newer experiences for my reviews and sometimes gameplays. So then, do I suggest you get an OPSYS gaming PC, or even the one I have, the Galantis, or whatever it's called? Hell yeah. It does not look like much, but the experiences that you can have with this thing are out of the world. Now, I know, it might not be good as a 3090 RTX, but it's damn near good enough. With 12 gigabytes of RAM, I had some amazing graphics. Not only can you play modern games with ray tracing and ultra settings, and in my personal experience, not get a dip in frame rate, you can also do other stuff like emulate old retro games. So if you're a retro enthusiast like myself, you have options to record your games instead of getting an actual console. My point being, there is so much to do with a PC like this that I think for around £1,000, nearly 2,000, for this type of PC was a steal, because none of the other PCs that I looked at had quite as much as what this had. They didn't have liquid cooling or really good cheap RTX 3060. This one did, and when they couldn't get as bit of the graphics card, the graphics card I was gonna get, just a regular 3060, they upgraded it with the tough gaming one, and it's brilliant. They didn't charge me nothing extra for it. So with that being said, I definitely give this game I'm so used to that by now, this gaming PC, my gamerimp seal of goddamn approval. Yeah!